What's up, Eastside Youth? I'm doing another one of these walk videos as the weekly check-in. Sorry, this one's a day late. 2 days ago was my parents' anniversary, and so we kind of celebrated with them yesterday evening, so sorry it's a day late. Today's Thursday instead of Wednesday, but I wanted to just kind of send this as a check-in midweek. I'm trying to continue this, and I hope this is something that happens even after all this mess settles down and we're back in person. But I'm walking. I was just at the church, taking a little walk around the neighborhood before lunch here, and I wanted to share one thought with you guys, and this thought kind of started a few months ago as we were going through Exodus and looking at the 10 Commandments, and I listened to this. I can't remember. It was probably a podcast. You know me. I have a slight addiction to the things, but it was this conversation about what it means to take the name of God in vain, and they were looking at this concept through a different lens. You know, I think traditionally there's this notion that it means to use God's name as like an alternative for maybe a swear word or something like that. But this conversation was more of something where they push back on that idea a little bit. And I don't necessarily think that notion is bad. I think that's probably wise to, be thoughtful about the words we use and how we use God's name especially. But this one in particular, and the reason I was thinking about this the last couple days was because with this virus and stuff that's happening and going around, there seems to be a lot of, as people try to, I think, make sense of what is going on or how to respond or what have you. Sorry, I'm walking by the roads. There's some traffic. But I think there's this little bit of, there's almost a jump to assign, not fault, but like try to say that this is from, or this is what is causing this virus from a spiritual perspective. And one of the things that I've shared multiple times with you guys is that I'm certain that this situation will be used to produce something good by our God. That's what I'll say. And the reason I say it that way is because this notion of taking the Lord's name in vain, specifically looking at it from this different lens, is looking at it from how I thought there was a bee and I almost got real scared. But looking at it from this perspective of the things that we attribute to God, so the things that we credit God with, or the things that we would say in God's name, in this, God is doing, God is, what if those aren't? And so for me, that conversation and that check was to ascribe something to God, and then I would also say maybe to ascribe something that perhaps God is doing a cool work with, and to say, oh, it's of the devil. I think those two things go hand in hand in relationship to this idea of taking the Lord's name in vain, in the sense that the 10 Commandments were given to the people of Israel for the purpose that they would live differently, that they would look differently. And it was like these commandments of like, you're going to be the people of God. Here's how you interact with your God, and here's how you interact with each other. And so it's God saying, when you interact with me, be thoughtful about what you are saying. And maybe it's this sense of, don't just roll out and say, oh yeah, our God is doing this, or our God is, feels this way about this, and not knowing. I think it's this check, as well as how we make promises and say, oh yeah, in God's name, absolutely, also a part of it. But I think it's this bigger check on what is happening in a bigger picture sense. Ooh, that is a very dead bird. And so in that regard, it's more of looking at, is there something bigger that we might not yet know that maybe we need to be slow to assign or ascribe the cause or the plan of to, in order to not give credit where credit is not due, or assign blame or assign cause of where it is also not due. And the reason that this is on my mind is in the last few days, I've heard of some guys who are, for one reason or another, moderately popular in a traditional church setting, who have propounded specific ideas about the virus that's going around and said that it is Satan, and that it is fill in the blank. And I'm very slow to say that. And the reason is because I don't know. For sure it is being used by him to cause fear. But I think in as much as that is true, I think it's going to be and has been used by God to cause some cool things to happen and to cause people to maybe reach out and love one another differently right now. And so this is just a weekly check-in, and just a few thoughts for you to think about for midweek. What does it mean to take God's name in vain? And thinking of that in specifically as it relates to how we talk about the things that happen in our lives and what goes on. I hope you are well. You can also see this video as a check-in for what I'm doing during the week. I'm doing a lot of stuff video-wise and on the internet to keep engaging with you guys. I love you guys. I miss you guys. I'm looking forward to when all this lifts and we can hang out and just have a great time together. You can see the sun up there. I'm reapproaching the church. Hello, Anna. Love you. But yeah, I hope you guys are encouraged. This Sunday is Easter. It's going to be great. It's going to be different. But I've got some stuff that's going to roll out for you guys. So that way you'll be able to watch it when you want, but also be able to spend some time with family and thinking about Jesus and his resurrection this week. I love you guys. As always, stay healthy, stay hopeful, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.